G'day and welcome to the Jade Rat. My name is Jaya and today we're doing a time lapse of a watercolour painting. The painting is of a snowy cabin basking in a warm sunset. Apologies in advance for the occasional blurriness. This is the first time I'm filming from above and sometimes the autofocus is too eager and sometimes gets my hand instead of the paper. Starting off with a pencil sketch derived from an open source image, I begin by wetting the entire surface of the paper. As the paper is in a sketchbook pad style, it's harder to tape down the sides, and a little bit of warping does happen. Onto the wet surface goes the lighter colours first, such as the vibrant yellows, oranges and pinks, and then we move on to the purples and blues of the sunset sky. Once that is dried, we move on to the snowy mountain sloping surface in the background. The snowy mountain slope reflects the light of the sunset, and some warmer reddish tones are added along the edge of the land and the flat area just in front of the cottage. The snow itself is tinted with a light wash of a cool bluish grey, done in a streaky manner to show the bumpy texture of the snowbank, with an emphasis placed on the shadows of the slope and the pile of snow in front of the cottage. Coming in with the darker brown colour, a flat brush is used to achieve the straight, hard edge of the roof of the cottage. The shape is made distinct and the grey colour of the roof is blocked in. Using a smaller flat brush, small squares of a warm brown are applied to look like bricks. Some squares are darker or lighter, with purplish or blue tones added in to give in an aged, faded look. Some areas are purposefully left blank to allow for the snow to be sitting on the building. A smaller brush is used to fill in smaller details and darken shapes and lines. Stippling and dabbing of small blots of colour are used to indicate the earth showing through the snow, and some rocks and background details are made more obvious. The process of darkening and defining is repeated a couple of times to achieve an acceptable level of contrast in the painting itself. This is because watercolours have a tendency to appear lighter once they are dry, and when painting with fairly thin and diluted mixtures of paint, you generally need to go over the darker areas a couple of times. This is to prevent the colours from looking too washed out once they are dry. Because it's pretty hot in Australia at the moment, the layers dry fairly quickly on their own, but you can always use a hairdryer to speed up the drying time. Once the colours are dark enough, I used white gouache, an opaque water-based paint with similar properties to watercolours, to go over the places that I wanted snow. The opacity of the gouache makes it easy to apply lighter colours on top of the darker ones, and the areas that were previously left blank are now filled in. Once again, a stippling motion is used to dab on almost randomised shapes and blobs to give the appearance of snow. The right side of the building in particular has more snow, and that is where most of the gouache is concentrated. Larger blobs are added to the sky to create some contrast and interest to the vibrant colours in the sky. I often use my fingers or a soft cloth to lift up some of the colour or remove excess water, and this allows for softer hues and gentler transitions between the wet layer and the drier layers underneath. Once the details are finalised, the piece is done. If you'd like to see more or stay up to date, it'd be great if you could subscribe or give a like to this video. I appreciate it. You could also follow me on Instagram at JadeRatArt, separated by 2 underscores. And if you're interested in getting an insight into the things that make creativity possible, or having a look at the way people use their creative ideas, check out my website and blog at thejaderat.com. A big thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a good one. See ya!